Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Saving Hearts from Narcs. My name is Sharon, and my children and I are in the process of recovering from the abuse inflicted on us by my narcissistic husband. Today I'd like to discuss codependency and hope. For those of you that don't know, codependency is when you put everybody else ahead of yourself. Everyone's happiness is more important than yours. You're an extreme giver. And the people that you give to tend to be takers who never reciprocate and try to make you happy. You know, I know it's cliche to say that happiness comes from within. I do think it's true though. So, with that said, if you're a codependent, you don't live that way. You live for other people to make you happy. You do things for other people and you want them to do things for you and they never do, and you're always unhappy. Of course, the people you give to are happy as anything to take from you, and a lot of times you'll end up doing this. A codependent will end up in a relationship with a narcissist, and that's pretty classic. A narcissist is happy to take. And the thing is too, a reason that codependents are often in relationships with narcissists is because somebody who was grounded and had a good sense of self would not put up with the abuse that a narcissist inflicts on them. There's just no way. I'm married to a covert narcissist, and my husband and I come from families where all the men are narcissists and all the women are codependent. So I grew up, my mother was codependent, my father was a narcissist, and that was the same with him. We both have a brother, they're both narcissists. Now, since outside of my daughter, I'm the youngest one in the family, youngest woman in the family, I also got to be the family doormat. I was the one that had to just lay down and let people walk all over me. I never was allowed to have my own views on things. My feelings were never considered. The whole family would abuse me, basically. And I can give you a really good example of that when I was first engaged to my husband. So we got engaged almost 20 years ago in November. And that Christmas, so a few weeks later, I was not allowed to spend the holiday with my then fiance. And the reason was because my mother-in-law didn't want me to. This was her last Christmas with her boy, and she wanted him all to herself. I raised that to my mother and told her I was upset about this, and her motherly advice to me, codependent to codependent, was, you know what, don't make a big deal out of it. Don't cause a scene. You're not even married. You don't want to cause any trouble with your future in-laws. Just let her have her way. What's the big deal? You'll have every other Christmas with him. All right. So I followed that advice. Not happy about it, but I did follow it. My husband, my fiance at the time, never thought to stand up for me. Everyone accepted this, and I was supposed to be, this was normal, right? Then, I didn't see it as a red flag that it was. Now, just keep in mind that also over New Year's that same year, so a week later, my fiance was going away to Aruba with his parents and brother. He was going on a family vacation with them, which he always did. Every year he took a vacation to Aruba with his parents, which that's fine. I have children too, and I would love to go on vacation with them when they're adults. So I have no problem with adult children going on vacation with their parents. This was a little bit strange, though. They were going away. They had a timeshare. Well, his parents had a timeshare, and they paid for the flights down there, and they gave their sons, my husband was 20, my fiance was 27 at the time. His brother was a couple years younger. They gave them spending money. It was just odd. I find that very strange. He was like a child going away on vacation when he was 27. And not just that, but before he went, my fiance calls to tell me the good news that, this was before cell phones. He said that, I guess there were cell phones, but they weren't like they are now. But, he told me that good news, his father was going to let, little air quotes here, let him call me a couple of times, and he was going to pay for it. All right, so this is very immature, childish. Now, my father-in-law is an overt narcissist, so he's very in-your-face, aggressive jerk. My husband's a covert narcissist, flies under the radar. Only the people that live with him know what he's really like. So he just has a very immature, even now, he's afraid of his parents. My husband's in his 40s now. He's afraid of his parents. And it just is very odd. And I didn't see it. I did think it was odd, but I didn't see it as a red flag that it was. Like, in retrospect, my whole relationship with him was littered with red flags. And this is what happens when you're codependent. You let everything slide, even though you know this is not normal. It's not right, but you just let it slide. And that has set me up for my entire marriage, which is 17 years now. My whole marriage has been this way. I am the doormat. I have to just let people do whatever they want, and I never get to do what I want. That's changed a lot. Like, in the last year, ever since I Googled, why is my husband ignoring me or something like that, and discovered silent treatment, narcissism, codependency, and I realized to my horror that is my life, I have vowed to change. And a lot of bad things have happened during my marriage and over the course of the last year, which I will get into on this channel. That's part of what the channel is. I want to help people that are victims of narcissistic abuse, and I want to be a support and friend to people going through this. I have an Instagram account that has been very helpful to me. I hate to see other people suffer, but at the same time, it is nice to have support, or to know that you're not in it alone. So part of codependency, though, I just want to get into the hope aspect of it, is that you're so used to giving to other people, and you want to help them and change them and have them be the best that they can. And so when you find out about narcissism, it's, you'll read that 99% of them don't change, or most of them don't change. But as a codependent, you just cling to that. Well, it doesn't say all, it says most. Or 99% don't change, but mine's the 1%. I know it. If only he would know what he's doing. If I could just show him, if he could understand that he's hurting me, and it's ridiculous when you think about it, right? I need to tell a man in his 40s not to give me the silent treatment, not to be a secret alcoholic, drive drunk with my children in the car. Like, I need to tell him this. I need to tell him he doesn't hide credit card debt that I have nothing to do with or know about from me. This is the type of thing, like right now, for example, my husband is giving me the silent treatment. We're separated. He doesn't live with me, but I live in the house with the kids, and there's a problem with the roof. So I call him the other day to tell him that there's a problem with the roof. Now, I'm worried about this because I don't know how I'm going to pay for a roof problem. So I tell him this, and he future fakes me by saying to me, all right, I'll take care of it. Then he hung up, and there's no more communication. He's silent treating me now. That's what he does. He's an immature jerk. He has no problem letting me suffer and worry and handle things while he does nothing. He's probably at work right now, goofing around, acting like he's such a great guy, and he must be making up stories about how he's a great husband and father, but it's all lies, and that's what narcissism is, and codependency is when you don't have the respect to just not have anything to do with this person, and I'm still working on that. I'm still trying to handle this. I'm very much in recovery, but I want to just get into the hope aspect of it. So you hear that, you think, yours is going to be one that can change, just to get back to that. But what I want to tell you, and I know you'll see it other places, this is not something that is original to me, but I do think it's worth saying. Narcissism is a mental illness that is not going to change. Your personality is pretty fixed. You can't just be a different person. Narcissists have been this way since they were toddlers. It's who they are. Their brain is wired differently. They're not able to change. They don't have the ability to do that. It's been proven in brain scans that narcissists have limited gray matter. They're brain damaged. They're not going to change. So if you keep hoping and trying to change a narcissist, what's going to happen is that you're going to end up like my mother or my mother-in-law. These are older women in their 70s that have been in these terrible relationships, and it's never going to change for them. They're going to go to their grave having been abused and mistreated by the people that were supposed to take care of them and love them. I am upset about my situation. I'm angry about my situation. I really am. It's been unfair and cruel to me and my children. But at the same time, I feel blessed because I'm aware of this and I can do something about it, which I intend to do. It is a process, and it's a long process, and I'm like I said, I'm very much in the middle of it. But I'm hoping that this channel can be a help to people, and we can get through this together. Befriend each other, support each other, help each other. And so, my closing remark here is that while the narcissist is not going to change, and it took me a year to accept this, so I understand not all of you are there, but when you get there, they can't change, but you can. There is hope for you. There's no hope for them. There is hope for you. Hang on to that hope. It's gonna be all right. You can get through this. We'll get through it together. I'm here for you. My email is in the description. I really, really hope that this channel can be something positive in your life. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you soon.